Hello world, WayofTime here, bringing to you another episode of EEPower. One moment, I have the munchies. Okay, so we're currently macerating a lot of stuff, and what we're going to need to do is actually power our thingamabobbers down here so that we're actually going to be able to actually farm some stuff. Currently, it's not doing a whole heck of a lot of good, so we're going to have to work on it until it actually can, do some stuff. First off, we're going to need a lot of dirt, and the only way currently to produce dirt, other than using a machine to do so, let's just look. Carpenter. Squeezer? How the hell is a squeezer supposed to? Anyways, we can macerate some wheat or some sugar canes through this stuff to get all that fun stuff, but there's no point since we're going to need to actually work up on all that. So what we'll first need to do is take some of this stuff right here and place them down over there and actually put some power into our machines. Now we'll need the lever again, of course, and we'll take some coal coke because it's going to need quite a bit of energy. Take that, please. And eventually we're not going to have these Stirling engines, but we're going to have more high-powered ones. I am, of course, talking about the Peat bog ones, but currently we cannot do that, seeing as we actually need to get to that point first. Okay, power this up, turn this on, put 2 coal coke in, and it should start clearing the general vicinity like so. And eventually it'll add some dirt in whenever it can. And then it'll start planting, harvesting, etc., and we should be good to go. So what I'm going to do is just put this here so that it'll be a nice singular area. That will be good. Okay, so let's keep our other stuff going in the meantime, since we are going to need a lot of this when we actually get to that point, which is probably going to be in a while. So actually it's not too much to worry about currently. What we're going to need to do is make some more charcoal, because this will only go for so long. I'm not sure how many it needs to take, but it's going to take quite a bit. But at least we get a nice amount of sand. Now what we can do in the meantime is actually get our peat bog ready. Our peat bog is going to also require dirt, and it's going to require sand, but it will produce dirt when we actually get to that point. So what we're going to need to do is gather some dirt. So I think I'm going to steal some of the dirt that we have in here, and we'll just manually place it or have it place it by itself when we actually get to that point, because we're just wasting a lot of time with this, and we might as well get stuff started with this. We'll need some bog earth, good old-fashioned bog earth. There we go, bog earth, and that will be a sufficient amount. So if we got 40 bog earth, and let's put it in an area where we know we'll place it. So currently this is going at a remarkable speed. So, let's see. Currently this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. It'll end right here. So this will be the last spot. It'll be bounded again, but then we'll place the stuff here. Now we'll want it deep as well, so we're probably going to need to just take some of this stuff out of the way. But considering that this is pretty much going to be a temporary thing anyways, it shouldn't matter. Well, actually, it's not like it shouldn't matter, it just doesn't matter. So now to get peat from bog earth, how it needs to be is it needs to be pretty much like dirt or farmland needs to be around that stuff. So let's make a temporary infinite water spring like so. Just a simple 3x1 should be sufficient. Then we'll take that and we'll place some around. Now, we'll manually harvest this stuff for now until we actually can get to the point where we're not manually harvesting this stuff. I think that's called automation way. Okay, good. Didn't misplace that. And we got one there. And I believe it's going to be one more right here, and that will be the outer edge. Now we're going to need 3 buckets worth, so let's see. There's that key. 1 bucket. 2 bucket. 3 bucket. And there we go. So now when we actually harvest this, we'll actually harvest it when there's a noticeable change in the color texture of this block. Currently, as you see, there's no, well, difference in it at all. It needs like maybe 5 or 10 minutes. But as soon as we see that change, we can harvest it. And when we harvest it, we'll get quite a bit of stuff out of it. I'm not sure why that didn't get taken out. This is actually going pretty slowly. Even though it's one engine, you'd think it'd be going at a faster rate than it currently is. Just for fun, let's see what happens when we put 3 dirt into the equation. It might have something to do with it. But currently the algorithm is very spotty. Spotty, whatever. Okay, so while all of this slow work is happening, I think we should work on some not so slow work. We're going to need to work on a pulverizer so that we can actually work on some of the more advanced stuff in thermal expansion, which we'll need to get to. Pulverizer makes all these pulverized iron, gold, etc. And it's kind of like a macerator in its operation. So we need a machine frame, which is pretty much glass, iron, and gold, and one of those coils along with a single piston, which we have. So let's see, we're going to need to get our gold and iron out. We have a sufficient amount of glass. So put the glass in the 4 corners, 4 edges rather. And we got our machine frame. Now we're also going to need 2 pieces of flint and our copper, which we have. Let's quickly go to bed as soon as that actually allows us to. There we go. And now that we're up in the morning, we might as well get the rest of the stuff. Because, hey, why not? Okay, so we're going to need redstone and a piece of gold for the coil. So redstone's reception coil, 2 flint, the machine frame, the piston, as well as... Is that see-through? No, it's just white. That would have been awesome if it was see-through. It might be a placeable block. Dang. And it is see-through, though, so I wasn't crazy. Well, not in that aspect. Okay, moving onwards to something a little more tasteful. We'll put this there. And we got our pulverizer. Now, I think we're going to need our wrench to take it out, but let's go like that. Apparently not. Wrench is to rotate the machine. So that's nice to know, but it needs an iron picket. Shift. Okay, there we go. Okay, now let's place this down and look at the interface because I might be a little odd on it. Okay, so the pulverizer needs a good amount of energy to run. Now the maximum power is 4 megajoules a tick. We're not currently at a capacity to output that, so we're going to have to watch out that. So it actually, let's just think of it as macerating all of the stuff and works nice like that. And you cannot be clickified. Shift clickified, yay. Okay. Now the good thing about this is that it can automatically eject stuff when it's done. So let's take this off and make it a little more tasteful. Get this. So the yellow is probably, let's just check our pulverized stuff. Yellow is for the secondary stuff, and it requires 400 megajoules, and we're running approximately 1 megajoule a tick, 20 megajoules a second. So that means we are doing 20, it'll take 20 seconds to pulverize it. That means it takes, basically it's 4 per coal. This did not go entirely as expected. Maybe, let's just try something. Let's break this and place it down again. It should resume its algorithm, but instead of starting at the bottom, it'll start at the bottom again and get the remaining junk out of the way, leaving nice cushy sand. That means we're going to need to get rid of the excess stuff, and this isn't stuff I shouldn't have to need to do this. It should have a proper algorithm to handle all of that. Why it doesn't, I have no clue. So I'll just let that stupid thing run its course so that we can actually plant stuff when it's ready. That being said, is our peat bog ready at all? Let's check. I don't see any. Nope. Okay, I'm kind of impatient, aren't I? Sigh. Okay, so let's actually work this pulverizer. The pulverizer will obviously need an output. So the red and the gold. So what we'll do instead is have them both going to one chest, which we'll put here, at least temporarily. And we'll have a nice little engine right here to generate the energy that will be required. Okay. So this pulverized stuff we'll need later. And that is done. So let's get that and place it again. Might be able to turn the wheat into plant balls and macerate that. But anywho, we're going to need a chest. So gather a chest. We're going to need 2 of those. So let's make that. That'll be simple enough. And we'll manually feed this stuff for now. Not bad, not bad. Not bad, not bad. Okay, so we might as well use coal coke. But we're going to need to use some of it to actually do that. Now, what's the first pulverized dust that we're going to need in our machines? Let us think. We're going to need to... Let's just check all the thermal expansion machines right now, because there are some that we will need. And you have a recipe. Yay! What you're used for, I have no... Is that the new way to make UU matter? Oh, darn. Okay, let's see. Thermal expansion, thermal expansion. You are thermal expansion. Igneous extruder. Probably not the thing we're going to need. I'm going to check some stuff and then be right back. Okay, I checked a bit, and apparently the igneous extruder is what we're going to be wanting to aim for. So we're going to need pneumatic servos, a machine frame, etc. But the pneumatic servo isn't actually difficult. Now, the reason we'd want the igneous extruder is because if we look at our obsidian recipes, obsidian, ooh, that would be interesting, but we could just use lava cells and water cells to make obsidian. But apparently the igneous extruder, thermal expansion rather, does not have an NEI subset, so there's no way to actually check the recipes individually. And we are going to need another chest for all of our junk. So a double chest will do. And here we go. Also, another thing we're going to want is a bunch of glass, because a lot of our recipes require glass. So let's get that. I think we can go with some silver ore now to macerate. And we got a sufficient supply of energy, and this is going nicely. So we got pretty much all of our sand back anyways. Yay! And we still have more sand because I suck at picking stuff up. Story of my life. Ooh, this stuff is done as well. So we can get that later when more of it's mature, so we can actually have some more dirt to work with. Now the igneous extruder, let's work on that. We'll put building blocks in here. So all of our blocks, and we'll put items in here eventually when we get everything sorted. We actually had more sand, or rather dirt, than I thought we did. So let's place this down. And the igneous extruder, let's work on that. Extruder, extruder, extruder. Cobble gen drive. Probably something important. Okay, there you are. So I do not believe it actually requires any energy to do, so we're going to need the servo motor, which redstone and glass. We got some glass in here, and we have redstone and etc. So let's make our nice little box of clearness. We do have another one of those, and what did we require? Igneous extruder requires tin, which we have in this chest. Aha, okay, needed to make the pneumatic servo now. So redstone and iron and glass. Place this with tin. And probably something more exciting. Well, maybe not as exciting as I originally anticipated. And we got our igneous extruder. Now let's check its recipe stuff. It just requires lava and water. Now what we can do is set up an automatic cobble gen with this by just adding a smudge of water and lava, and it will pretty much be infinite. What we want though is eventually to get lava to basically make some more stuff than what we currently have right now. What I mean by that is because some of our recipes later on, when we go for that redstone energy cells, requires lead ingots, which are easy, and the energy storage frame, which requires hardened glass, which requires pulverized obsidian, which requires to pulverize, well, obsidian. So as you can see, we probably need something like that. Ooh. What we can probably do instead is actually bring these machines together and just make an automatic way for the output to go down. Now let's check the configuration. Output we'll put down. Input, we don't really need any input currently, so that's good. We'll have it lava. And we're going to actually need lava, so we need some source of lava to lavify. So either we can just go and bucket some stuff out from the ground, or we can make a pump to pump some of that stuff from one of our giant lava lakes, which means that we're going to need to harvest a bit of our cacti. Maybe if I can make this into a more manageable field to harvest the cacti, because if you just do this, it can drop onto the cactus and doesn't make it exactly too happy. What are you doing in the wall? I leave you away for probably a few days, and this is what you do? Come on, man. Come on. Okay, so I'll go in, sleep a bit, get shovels, harvest some of that bog earth, and maybe, perhaps, make one of those engines. I think it is a copper engine, and that requires the peat. Okay, so I'm going to get this thing first of all, because it offends me. Why am I so scared of you? Maybe because you could kill me. People are generally scared of things which can kill them, so it's no small wonder why you are actually scared of it. Okay, so shovel time, and let's throw these in to get some waterproofing. This obviously needs a bit more energy, so let's get a bit more energy. 5 is actually the magical number that will continue going. That will continue going. And we should be good to go. I don't know what I'm thinking, okay? Now, probably for a temporary run, because actually I cannot put any sort of lava in there. or anything. So let's put this here instead. And we're probably going to need another machine in here. So let's check more thermal expansion stuff to waste our money on. And here we go. Pulverizer, no. Liquid transposer. If we actually look on the interface, which we cannot, whatever. We'll just find a way to bring everything in. Maybe, no. We're gonna have to manually put stuff in. So there we go. We'll just keep that going, and it doesn't actually require anything, so we'll just find a way to put lava in here. Maybe we can click, no. Okay, so we'll have to get some sort of tank to pull stuff out of to bring into there, which not really too difficult. All we'll need to do is make like a glass tank, put it on top, put an engine there, and we should be sufficient. Now, will cans actually work on a tank? That's what I'll want to check. So I'll place a tank and might as well waste one of these. Okay, it does work. So we can just manually put the stuff into there after we put a waterproof redstone, not redstone thing, but like a waterproof wooden transport pipe. Once we actually get some waterproofing from our systems, and then we should be good with the pulverizer and finally getting obsidian to pulverize, which is what we're actually trying to get. Who would have thunk it? Okay, now to pull the stuff out, we're going to need a redstone engine. So we have our 2 wooden gears, but we're going to need the wood and redstone. That, wood's up here. Why did I put the wood away when it is something that I desperately need? If you make a joke out of that, I'm going to kill you. What we're also going to need, though, is some cobblestone, which we always seem to be out of. So maybe if I dig a pit, I'll find some cobblestone, then I'll have some fun at it. Now that we actually have cobblestone in which we can actually work, let's make our piston to pull the stuff out of, and then we'll make our other things. So it requires redstone and iron. Simple enough. Then we'll place it down with our 2 gears and this, and we'll have that. This and we'll have that. Yes, it makes perfect sense. Therefore, you do not need to continue second-guessing me. I have it covered. There we go. And we'll just have this pointing at the waterproof pipe, which we'll have in a moment. Let's turn all of this into waterproofing. And we'll waterproof one singular pipe, because that's all we really need at this point. Turn this around, put that there. And we'll just put that there. Not exactly the most elegant solution, but I guess since it's a solution, there's no point triping about it. So, we're going to need quite a bit of stuff for us to get this. So let's actually, once again, we're going to need to plant more of this to keep our hopes alive when we actually get seeds. Now, I'm thinking I'll dig down and get as much lava as I possibly can. Hopefully I do. I'm going to make another pickaxe just in case, but I'll get like 24 lava should be sufficient for all the stuff I need, and I'll be able to make some form of awesomeness with that. This thing might require energy, but I am highly doubtful on that, so that shouldn't be too much of a problem. So I will be back once I get, well, back from this trip. Okay, now that I have a sufficient amount of both lava and water, this shouldn't be too difficult of a situation. So let's place that down. Place 2 of those in, or 4 rather, so that we actually have this full of its many buckets, etc. And probably what we can do at the same time, since it's not really breaking any laws, let's put another tank down. No, it probably only pulls from one, so that is breaking a law of, well, being smart. So let's get that done. And now that it's there, it's actually making obsidian, so it just consumed the water and the lava. And now it made the obsidian, and it should have automatically sent it here. But let's put it to blue, and now it's in there. And it should have actually pulverized it. I'm guessing there... What the hell are you doing? Shouldn't actually do anything with that. Okay, so sleep time. Let's watch our obsidian aggregator. We can call it an... Congratulations, we have an obsidian aggregator. Okay, we have those. What the hell is... I don't even know. I don't know. How do we get 5? It's one life's mysteries. Okay, so now that we have 5 in there, we can fire this bad boy up with some coal coke. Throw one of these in here and start the process. And we'll finally pulverize all of this fun stuff into more fun stuff. Speaking about fun stuff, this has a lot of energy, so we probably were a bit wasteful in that regard. So it's going. Let's see how much energy. It's not even doing anything yet because it's still working. Let's get more obsidian. I've been working on the railroad. Okay, so this is probably going to take a while to actually start and get to the consume app. Okay, it's actually powering up, so that's good. And put that stuff in and we'll get some more obsidian. And it shouldn't... there you go. Shouldn't output anything from that side. But we want red stuff to go there. And the pulverizer... Oh, we're looking at the wrong one. Okay, so multiple will go there. And this won't go anything. So all of our stuff will go there. But this should just output on the orange rather. And it did. So now we're actually getting pulverized obsidian from this. So we'll be able to use this later on in our creation of the redstone merchandise mechanics, whatever the heck you want to call them. What we're going to need to get is a liquid transposer eventually, and we're going to need to liquefy redstone. I think it's through this. What the heck is an uncrafting table? I have no clue. It's probably something that I can make later. Not now, later. Okay, so where's that bucket I was actually planning to create? Not bucket. I am confusing my own sanity. I am surprised that's actually possible, but lo and behold, it is happening. Throw that in. And probably cannot do anything with lead in a macerator, so we're going to have to not do that. What was I getting? Bucket, not bucket, a shovel. Let's shovel some of our dirt that we managed to accumulate. Haha, it's an accumulator. Ha ha ha. Oh dear. Oh dear God. And okay. Here we got some peat and some extra dirt, which we'll consume like so. And we should be good to go. No, dirt. I want the dirt. Now we're going to need to replace this with some more stuff, because that's how it's supposed to go. There, there, and there. I think that is everything. No, it isn't. We have one more, and then we're good. Okay. So that, now that we managed to completely wreck that thing, beyond all repair, we're probably going to need to actually block that off from the rest of it, though that can wait for a bit. Now that we actually have some peat, we can fire this up with a peat-fired engine instead of the Stirling engine. That's probably going to be a lot more efficient. Not probably, will be. Okay. That's going to take a bit of resources, but we should be good. Now this water, we're going to need to combine with some more of this dirt. And unfortunately, we can only make some extra like so. So, where are you? There you are. You'd think they'd be able to make 2 recipes. It's not that difficult. Just make 2 already. Gosh darn it. Doubling our peat bog supply, and we're gonna have to walk up here and replace everything. And perhaps make it a bit more tasteful than how we have it currently, and actually enclose it upon actually enclose the darn things so that water doesn't go around everywhere once we actually do some stuff. So I think we're going to need to do that now. So just simple sand should be classy enough since everything else is made of sand. But we're only going to want to do it this way because we still already, sorry, not still already, we have some more peat bog which we can put here. We'll need to take this out. There. Okay. We're going to need one more piece of water. There we go. Bring it over, and we'll have more peat bogginess. And just for fun, let's place that just in case we actually get something there. Ouch. That hurt. Now, when we actually have this running, we won't have the Stirling engine. We'll have the other type of engine, the peat-fired engine, because we'll want it to be efficient. Peat-fired engines are the most efficient at their energy. It's probably more accurate to say that all of the other machines are less efficient with peat. It's the best way to describe it. Now, I think we are out of energy, and did we just finish the obsidian? Yes, we did. So we got the 4 pieces, we completely used up all of that energy, and we should be good to go. Now we will still need to get more seeds, so we're probably going to need to use this bone meal, but one of our next objectives should be to get a cow because we're going to need some milk to get more slime balls, which I actually found when down there, so we might have enough to make one of those blast furnace. Blast furnaces, we get 4 for those for 1, so basically 4 for 1, and we need 34 divided by 4. We need 9 magma creams. We do not have 9 slime balls, so we're going to need to get 4 more to be able to make that. So what I'm going to do off camera is probably go out, find some cows, bring the cows here so that we can actually start a cow farm and etc. And then maybe we can actually make some more obsidian, and instead of just bringing it to be pulverized right away, what we'll do instead is actually do something useful with them. I wonder what we could do that would be useful with, I don't know, 10 lava cells. Well, that's all the time we have for this episode of EEPower. If you like what you see, don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe to future episodes. WayofTime here, signing off. Have a wonderful day.